Dak Prescott's approval rating is lower than expected. Clearly, the team again falling short in the postseason was a significant factor in the franchise quarterback getting just over 13% of the vote here. Then there was this category. Who's the Cowboys' most overrated player? Dak ran away with 251 votes to Micah's 152, and The Athletic concluded another surprising result here as Prescott received almost 100 votes more than any other player. So, Keyshawn, are you surprised by these results?
I'm really not, Skip. I'm really not surprised because the narrative has already been set, right? There's so many people that are, like, attacking him because he hasn't done anything in the playoffs. But there's many players that I could point to that have great regular seasons and don't play well in the playoffs until they do play well in the playoffs. But this has already been shaped. Okay, then you have your owner not paying you when other quarterbacks in the league, owners pay them.
Yep.
You know, whether it's a Trevor Lawrence, whether it's a Jordan Love, whether it's a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, I go on and on and on. Joe Burrow, no problem.
Kirk Cousins.
The San Francisco 49ers are going to tee it up for Brock Purdy the moment he's eligible to get a new extension.
They will.
They're going to figure out how to pay him and not pay Brandon Ayuk.
Fact.
With no problem at all. So
yep.
I'm not shocked about it at all. He's almost become this, like, villain of the team, so to speak, Skip. Because if it ain't somebody's parents taking shots at him, it's you. And if it ain't you who's a fan of the Cowboys, it's somebody else taking shots at him.
I don't like villain label. I don't think he's a villain because he's loved. I mean, he's beloved. He's a great guy. He was the NFL Man of the Year, what was it, last year?
Maybe amongst media.
Yeah.
When I say villain, I'm not talking about amongst his teammates.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the way the perception and the narrative has been shaped about him.
But I don't think anybody hates him. I certainly don't.
Because you're a villain doesn't mean they hate you.
Okay. Right.
You know, you go back and you think about when he had to get his first contract and he was the whole situation. There were people out there on his first contract that he needed to get an extension on saying you don't pay this type of money to a guy like this. The dude was only in the league like 4 years. He hadn't been in the league 10 years for you to even be saying those sort of things. And the interesting thing about all this is I actually had a conversation with him on Saturday, Skip, face-to-face in person.
Really?
Yeah. And
how did that happen?
We were at the same place, same dinner places. And the conversation, I could feel that he feels the pressure to live up to what people's expectations are in Dallas. You could, just one of those deals, you can feel it.
Sure.
You know, through conversation. And as I told him, I'll tell you, just keep doing what you're doing. It'll happen. Don't allow outside noise in this type of stuff where they're saying they want him off the team. He would be the guy off the team in 3 years compared to CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons, or he's the most overrated Cowboy. Like, what? How could it be? How could you be the most overrated guy when you finished second in MVP voting? You've had 3 straight years of winning 12 games or more, okay? You have done everything the right way since you've been in Dallas, except take care of business in the playoffs. But you're the most overrated guy on the team? It's crazy to me.
Well, the thing is, when you get all the praise when you win, that comes with everything when you lose.
But he don't get praise when they win.
Yeah, he do.
No, he don't. No, he don't.
I mean, they had 3 great regular seasons in a row.
And they don't even give him no love.
The only thing he don't have is a Super Bowl. So, like, the thing is...
He didn't have an NFC championship game.
Yeah, I mean, but they don't hang... Do they hang that up?
No, but I mean...
It don't matter if he get there. We would have forgot about that.
But he hadn't even gotten that far.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that hadn't gotten that far, though, Skip.
They don't play for the Dallas Cowboys.
But that's the problem.
Yep.
Y'all keep trying to...
I understand.
You and Michael think y'all people, just because it's the Cowboys, everybody's supposed to just bow down.
Look,
the voters in place...
We have a birthright of entitlement. We just do. We feel like we were born to be in the Super Bowl.
But that's wrong.
And
That's just wrong, though.
It's been 30 years.
It's wrong. You ain't been in the Super Bowl in 30 years. It's wrong.
It's been that long?
And they haven't been to an NFC championship game in 30 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness, is right.
So it's just really like a show. down there.
Like
it's
a
just
facade,
like a really like a
Hollywood
reality.
facade,
Yeah, it do feel like a show. New arena.
Well, because you got
owner of the media. It do look like it sound
you
like
got
a show
Skip
most of the
them.
time.
You got Skip. You got Michael, Paul, and it's just they
So why is
continue
there
to just.
expectations?
But Michael still loves Dak. He's still hanging in with Dak.
Yeah,
He is.
what else you gonna do?
I can come up with 1,000 ideas.
Well, come up with them.
I have been. I've been
And they're
given
all
to.
bad ideas, Skip.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because they're not exercising those ideas that you keep putting out in the universe.
Just watch. Hang on. It's coming. It's coming.
This year, when they get off to a bad start, 2-4.
Look, if they get off to a bad start, the coach gonna get fired. Mike Zimmer be the head coach. Then we can go from there. But I don't believe that this quarterback and Dak Prescott is to blame for where the Cowboys franchise has been over the last 30 damn years. He's not to blame for that.
It's always going to be the quarterback, Key. What do you mean? It's always going to be the quarterback. Like, if
No, it's
they
not.
win, it's going to be because of that.
No, it's not.
Why not?
For some reason, they're going to figure out a way to exclude him from the conversation if they win. There's some way,
Damn, that's crazy.
because that's the way they think. You got to understand the way the guy across from me, Skip, that's the way he thinks. He thinks Dak Prescott is a nice guy, and I like him, and he's a good community guy and all that, but he's not good in football. That's what he thinks.
I didn't say he's not good in football. He's not good enough. We read those anonymous quotes from NFL executives. Something is missing. I believe that deep down in your heart of hearts, you think something is missing in Dak Prescott, and you love that there's a little tiny something missing because it takes the pressure off you to have to face me if they win. Because the point is, you know what's coming. You know they're going to lose. And I think you knew all last year. It's just the wheels are going to just fly off when you least expect it. That playoff game that they played as a football team, but it started with the quarterback, it was, to me, the single most embarrassing and humiliating
Green
playoff.
Bay.
Yeah, against Green Bay. It was the worst playoff game I have ever seen a good team play, where you're a good team, a solid favorite, I forget where they touchdown favorite at home, as the 2 seed over the youngest team in the playoffs, the 7 seed.
With a quarterback that they didn't know a lot about.
Okay. And all of a sudden you look up and it's 27-0 in the second quarter. Well, that's just wrong. And that's a fireable offense for the head coach, and he did not get fired. And you can't fire the quarterback, but you can let him play the string out this year and just see what happens. And if let's just say, miracles happen, and Dak leads them to the Super Bowl this year and a championship, and then he says, hell with all you, I'm out of here. I would be happy with that. I would take that.
Let's say they don't go to the championship, but he wins the MVP. And he plays like an MVP.
And we lose in the divisional round,
and
right?
you lose in the divisional round, and it has nothing to do with him, and he gives you the bird. Now what?
Okay. Good riddance.
Oh, okay.
The MVP of the league.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
Okay.
Because
he doesn't get it.
Okay, no, it's classic regular season this and regular season that.
Yeah.
I need, when the chips are pushed to the middle of the table, what you got? Are you that guy or not that guy? And CeeDee's mom says, Dak ain't it, because in the end, Dak ain't it. He's a great guy. He's a nice guy. He's a pretty good quarterback, and he's played pretty well for the Dallas Cowboys for a long time. We're going into, year 8 now. But when it's time, he's not going to be there for you because he was a 4th-round draft.
That doesn't mean anything.
I know, but it's because there's something missing.
Okay.
Okay.
You say that there's something missing. Yeah, the rest of my teammates.
That's what I'm thinking.
The rest of my teammates have got to come to the party, Skip.
Yeah, it starts with him. It starts with leadership. It starts with,
regardless if it
in-game
starts with him.
charisma.
If him isn't playing well and doing the things that you expect for a quarterback, whatever that is that we think is missing, somebody else has got to fill that void. They've got to step up to the plate and all of a sudden close the door, shut it slammed.
I agree.
Okay? If I know you struggling, I need to pick you up.
Okay.
By doing something on my end. If you throw the ball slightly behind me, I need to figure out how to go get it.
But I do believe, I've told you this, I got one baller on my team, and he is the yet unpaid receiver, CeeDee Lamb.
Which don't make a whole lot of sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense to me because that's the one that's sticking in my craw right now and eating me alive from the inside out. CeeDee Lamb is a football player that I trust at the highest level in the biggest moment in the biggest game. But he plays a dependent position where he's not the leader, and you know that position better than anybody knows it because you played it all those years. There's a limit to what you can do at receiver to lift the whole football team because
I can give him something that'll lift him.
Okay.
He might not want it from me, but I can tell him how to march his ass in there and let him know.
All right. You know what? Maybe you could. Maybe CD's not quite there yet, like growing up yet, where you can say, you know what? It's time for me to take this thing over.
Yeah, he can do that.
Okay.
He has the cachet to be able to.
He does.
To go and be. The quarterback doesn't have to be the leader. Okay, it'd be nice to have him as a leader, but it has to be. It's nice to have him as a leader.
The leadership
CeeDee Lamb could walk in there and demand and do whatever, and they'll listen to him if that's his personality.
There are rare circumstances, such as the one that you found yourself in Tampa, where Brad Johnson he's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, he's pretty good. But was he the leader of your football team?
No,
he just wasn't.
No, our defensive guys was mainly our leaders.
They were.
Derek Brooks and those dudes were mainly our leaders. But from an offensive standpoint, when we needed a voice or whatever the case is, he'd step up.
Okay, so is Micah ready to take the team over and step up with some help from DeMarcus Lawrence and Malik Hooker, your man? And
what Micah has to do is perform better individually before people will take him serious, because he's on this list as well as a guy. He's right behind Dak in every category. You know, most overrated, he's right behind Dak.
Right.
Cowboys is their own worst enemy.
True.
They're their own worst enemy.
But people like him, though.
Yeah.
They're their own worst enemy.
People like him. This dude right here across from me.
If Dak, what did he come in MVP this year? Second?
Second.
Second in the MVP?
Yeah.
And you would get rid of him?
I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
What's the better option?
You not being a Cowboy fan, you didn't watch closely what
I watched the
happened
game.
this year.
I watched the game.
Okay, at Arizona. Go check that game out and see what Dak did in that game when they had just lost Trevon Diggs and they needed somebody just to say, okay, we're going to be fine. And Dak wasn't fine in that game.
They ran the ball, Skip. They did not throw it. Trayvon Diggs ain't got nothing to do with them rushing for 233 yards a yard.
The psychological loss of, okay, we lost our guy, let's go.
You lost him weeks before the game. You didn't lose him the night before the game.
You lost him on Thursday before.
You didn't lose him the night before the game where all of a sudden you couldn't make an adjustment.
No, but you lost him to just some bizarre...
And they ran the ball down your throat.
And Dak was...
Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm taking my chances with Dak right now where he at.
Here's what Dak...
reload. Why would you reload?
Here's Dak's problem with... That's Skip, man. Here's Dak's problem that he faces from the Skip Baylesses of the world.
There's only one.
What Skip is looking for is 3rd and 8 with 1:20 to go, down by 4 in the divisional round. We got a 65-yard drive or something. He needs to cap it off. He needs to make a throw. He needs to make Aaron Rodgers a la throw left to right.
So what quarterback?
That sort of thing. That's what he's looking for.
Is doing that today that hasn't won the Super Bowl?
Was a couple of them.
I mean, it's only a couple.
It's a couple of them that had won a Super Bowl.
Burrow and Josh Allen.
But they're giving you Josh Allen and to me, Josh Allen and Dak Prescott is the same quarterback to me. That's just me. Okay, they both turnover machine. Well, Dak is not his turn. He had the 1 year with the 1 year, just the 1 year where he came in and he had a nice run of turnovers. Josh Allen, since he's been in the league, has led the league in turnovers at the quarterback position, both throwing interceptions, fumbling football, you name it. But what Josh Allen has done at times is he's ripped the hearts out of defenses, and people go, wow. So they give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, the shootout with Mahomes and Kansas City.
That too. That's what I said. It wasn't his fault.
I mean, that was a signature game.
That was a signature.
And they lost.
And
they lost.
And Dak Prescott had one against Green Bay 5 years ago, I think it was.
I mean, it was his rookie year.
His rookie year.
We haven't seen it since then.
Yeah, so now it sticks in his craw.
Yeah.
And they just pound him to death. And I don't think it's right.
Okay, I understand. Now you've met him and seen him up close. Now you've lost all objectivity, and I get it.
No, I'm not drinking it. No, I'm not.